to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, that's Tas Mellis.
Hey, Happy New Year again, everybody.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kerby.
Hey,
yo! And last but not least, over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is, and here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. We love to see it. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't, and comment away, and send in your questions and comments to nodunks@theathletic.com. That's how you can email them in or tweet them in at nodunks_inc. That's INC on the end. We might hit the beach at some point this week. There's only 3 games on tonight. Tomorrow might be a great time to hit the beach, we're being honest. Right? Answer some questions?
Why not? I love it.
Yeah, dip our toes in the sand. So get those cues and comments in. We got a lot to talk about here on today's show, so let's just jump into the games. Another day, another classic night in the NBA. Donovan Mitchell scores a Cavs franchise record, and a career best, 71 points. Let's say that again. Donovan Mitchell scored 71 points last night in the OT win against Trey Kerby's Bulls. So I think we have to start with TK and your reactions to Mitchell's game and how it all happened and what happened at the end of regulation and getting in overtime, all this stuff. What do you think, man?
As humans, we contain multitudes, you know, Skates?
Yep.
So as a basketball fan, I was enjoying the Donovan Mitchell show last night. Incredible shot making. I love that every time they cut to a video or like a close-up of him, grinning ear to ear because he was so on fire, and every point that he scored was a point that the Cavs needed.
Yeah.
It's incredible to see somebody score 70-plus points in a game when it actually matters. Like, this is a lot more impressive than Devin Booker's 70-point game. This was a comeback win for the Cavs over the Bulls, basically a 20-point deficit at halftime. They needed every single one of these points from Mitchell. He makes the incredible play on the offensive rebound at the end of regulation, pulling a Luka Doncic. Awesome stuff. As a Bulls fan, however, I was furious.
Okay.
Oh, why don't they just gift him some more free throws?
Right.
How early are you allowed into the lane on an intentional missed free throw? Because there was a couple of missed calls there.
Yeah.
And also, Patrick Williams, get a body on somebody, please. He completely whiffed on the Donovan Mitchell box out, but guess what? So did Andre Drummond, because Robin Lopez had it. If Mitchell didn't get the putback there, I mean, maybe you're thinking Robin Lopez misses the layup, but Donovan Mitchell wasn't missing on that night. Awesome win for the Cavs. Awesome game for Mitchell. And, like, every shot he made was cool. Except for the free throws. Not cool.
Yeah, a lot of free throws.
He still scored 51 points minus the free throws. That's incredible. But he did take 20 free throws in the second half in overtime. This was a Dwayne Wade 2006 Finals-esque performance.
We've compared Mitchell to Wade before.
Yes, and the
rest
refs were handing him trips to the line, no doubt.
Yeah, 21-point comeback was the largest comeback in the NBA this season. It's sort of overlooked in the 71-point incredible game from Mitchell. He also had 11 assists, too. I mean, he contributed, like 99 points in this game, and they needed all of them to beat the Bulls. It's nuts.
Yes. And the Hawks almost came back from 21 a little bit later in the night.
They didn't, though.
No, they didn't. There was just a lot of overshadowed facts in this night in the NBA. You said it was a classic night. I mean, the NBA was drunk, though. 5 40-point scorers last night.
Yeah, it's the third time it's happened in the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
It had happened 4 times in the previous 76 years of the league where, what'd you say, 5 40-point scorers on the same night. It is drunk right now. It's insane what's going on.
I know he got to the line a lot, but it didn't feel like he was forcing anything. That's why it was different than Devin Booker's. Devin Booker was going for it at the end. It felt like it was within the offense. It didn't feel like he was hogging the ball. Every shot was going through him, but he let Karis LeVert shoot once in overtime. I think that's...
When he was splashing 3 after 3 after 3 there, when they were like, it's still a game, but like, it was give him the ball. The guy's on a heater right now. And he was like, and he just couldn't miss. And that's why, a part of why he was like grinning from ear to ear. I think he's like, well, this is special. Everything I throw up, I can't miss the basket. It must have looked 10 feet wide to the guy last night.
And I was fine with the grins. I loved them as they got bigger and bigger. The grin's so big, he could taste his own earwax.
Oh, nice line.
Well, that line, I can't stop saying it now. Once you hear it once, you can't stop saying it. But, yeah, he was getting into the lane. Pick up top and let's roll. It was kind of a perfect storm for him to shoot a lot because Darius Garland was out beside him. And to a lesser extent, Evan Mobley also out. But the thing is with Donovan Mitchell, you think that his usage rate is crazy. Like, he takes every shot on this team. It's actually lower than it was last year with the Jazz, and Garland and Mobley are shooting a little bit less this season. But overall, that's been so impressive to me as Donovan Mitchell has come into this team with 2 frickin' all-stars, and they have been so accommodating to let this guy shoot as much as he wants. And on a night, only 34 shots to get those 71
That's because
points.
he went to the free throw line a million times. Yeah. He would have had more shot attempts.
Okay, all right.
They gifted him 20 points.
Yeah.
They gifted him 20 points. These were, they fouled out Caruso in the fourth quarter.
Early.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of them was a trip. That's a foul, but I don't know. These were some shenanigans. These are some shenanigans.
Well, yeah, and that's what ignited the comeback.
That's why, though, he has a low shot attempt number, because he's at the free throw line. That's another 10 shot attempts.
Sure, but he also had a bunch of assists. That was going through him, and he was passing the ball. 11 assists, the most for any 70-point scorer in the NBA by far. Yeah. A huge difference between him and Booker, who's second with 6 in terms of 70-point scorers. So I didn't feel like he was hogging it. Yeah, he may have been getting some calls, but totally fine with it. Totally fine either way. I understand you're frustrated. We were getting actual text photos. We're getting photos sent from Laura Trey's wife.
Trey's wife was sending these.
At the end of the game, he had to be impressed. It
was incredible, man.
Show the other one. It's way funnier.
Fun watching. Yeah. Like I said, it's the duality of man right here.
Yeah.
On one hand, it's awesome to see a guy light up a team like Donovan Mitchell was last night, but it is terrible when it is your team. And you have the win in your hands.
Yeah.
If only you could put a booty on Donovan Mitchell at the free throw line.
Yeah, or just somebody.
One botch right there.
That is really taking the knife and twisting in you. Bored man over here just couldn't get a rebound. Yeah. Or get a body box out. Yeah.
I did feel pretty baller, though, because I got to impress Laura. When they lost to the Hawks, I said, they got to put a tall guy by the rim. They're going to throw it right to the rim.
Did, yeah.
Lost to the Hawks on a lob to the rim. On this one, I said, he's going to throw the ball off the front of the rim, grab it, and shoot a layup. She's like, that never works. We just saw them try to do that. The Bulls just tried to do it.
Yeah,
DeRozan, I think, airballed and didn't hit the rim. Guess what happened? I'm like, it happens. It works. People try it. It happened 3 times over the weekend.
I thought he was.
Lo and behold, the oracle of Bulls misery comes through again.
I thought he'd copy Luka and go front rim, but big difference. He went far right, deep on the rim, deep on the heel of the rim, and yeah, Vooch was on that side. He did his job sort of with a box out, but he didn't go after the ball. Nobody went after the ball, just boxed out. And yeah, Patrick Williams definitely missed the box out on Donovan Mitchell, but it was cool to see it in a different way. Luka Doncic goes front rim. We should have a free throw missing contest at All-Star Weekend. Why the heck not? I think it could be more fun than a lot of things that happen at All-Star Weekend. So it was something. Again, we've talked to Brent Barry about that NBA players practice, and Donovan Mitchell, I guess, likes to go right side of the rim, and he was going for it, as Trey said. He was going to go get that ball. He wasn't let anybody else get that ball.
And look, he got away with the violation.
Yeah,
he's in a good step before it hits the rim.
A step.
So,
yeah. Call that at the end of the fourth quarter. That's kind of a.
Yeah, I agree.
I would hate that call.
That's tough.
Why can't you box out?
Yeah. Why can't you box out? That's the big question. Why can't you box out?
So he is the 6th player in NBA history to score 70-plus points in a game with the 71. He shattered the Cleveland record, which was I always had forgotten that Kyrie and LeBron shared that 57 Cavs franchise record for most points in a game. Not anymore. But Mitchell joined Wilt, who did it how many times? I don't know. That's a lot. Kobe, of course, David Thompson, Elgin Baylor, and Devin Booker in that loss to the Celtics back in 2017? Something like that.
Ago.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of time ago. And then the 11 assists. It's wild that you're watching this game as a Bulls fan, of course. The opponent player, the star player, scores 71, and you're saying, Trey, oh my God, your team lost, so you're upset, but you're like, wow, that was pretty wild to see. We're 2 of the few people in the world that can actually put ourselves in those shoes, having watched Kobe score 81 against our team and know that pain. But look, I would have rather my team, the Raptors, how they lost last night, lose like yours did, 71. It's better. Yeah. Honestly, it's better.
It's better. It's better. I'm excited for the last 2-minute report to come out, and we'll hear another way that the Bulls were a win stolen from them against the Cleveland Cavaliers, just like they were in the previous game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Here's some credit I'll give to Cleveland. The game changed completely when Jared Allen started guarding DeMar DeRozan in the last 2 minutes of the game. DeRozan was cooking in the fourth quarter, had 11 through the first 10-ish minutes. They switched Jared Allen onto him, and he couldn't really figure out how to attack because the mid-ranger just became a lot more difficult, having to shoot over a 7-foot guy who could move his feet enough to stay in front. Didn't score the last 2.5 minutes of the fourth quarter. That was kind of the game for the Bulls as well right there, and also some more credit to the Cavs. Robin Lopez did a Bill Wennington tweet at the end.
Yes.
He said they combined him and Mitchell for 73 points in the game, much like Bill Wennington way back in the day with Michael Jordan's double nickel.
Yeah, speaking of oldies, yes, we watched both those games, but also a guy called both those games. Chuck Swirsky called both those games.
Oh, wow.
And he was interviewed by Joe Vardon after the game. There's an article on The Athletic. Pretty cool. He was there for the Kobe game, here for the Donovan Mitchell game. Just a wild night.
Yeah.
What a roller coaster. Yeah, of course the Raptors were going to lose. Actually, after the first quarter in both games, I tweeted who's more likely to hang on, the Bulls or the Raps, thinking the Bulls were doing it far more convincingly to start the game, but yeah, I'd rather get spanked. Like the Pacers took care of business. Yeah, than that for
spanked.
sure.
I mean, spanked in the final 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah, embarrassing.
Just a quick stat correction there, because I think it actually makes it funnier. Robin Lopez pointing out they combined for 72 points, not 73.
72.
He scored 1 point.
He scored a bucket.
And then Donovan Mitchell with the 71. Any other thoughts on Mitchell's masterpiece? No, okay, let's keep it going. We got a lot to get to. Klay Thompson. He had a season-best 54. He scored 54. So it's the second story here. In an unbelievable game, maybe even a crazier game, as the Warriors got past the Hawks in double overtime. And this is the first time Klay scored more than 41 since his 2 devastating injuries. And he was on fire from deep, hitting 10 threes and bricking one at the right time, too, at the end to allow Looney in double overtime to get the rebound, get it up on the glass, miss, get his own like he was Moses Malone, and put in the second one. Game-winning buzzer beater from Looney. The 11th one this NBA season. That feels like a lot, too, to me. So not only these incredible individual performances with some crazy endings, but what do you think about this?
Looney also a huge grin, ear to ear. Must be his first buzzer beater of his career, I imagine.
I think so.
And a genuine smile, and everybody loves Kevon Looney on that team, so huge hugs for him. Also a 21-point lead, just like the Bulls had on the Cavs. The Warriors had a 21-point lead, almost gave it away. Perfect storm for the Hawks to go down 21 points because the best player on the other team wasn't on the floor. Steph Curry not there. A bunch of other guys, including Andrew Wiggins, still not playing. So the Hawks didn't show up defensively in the first quarter. All their perimeter guys. It's not just Trey. Bogdanovich came in, was terrible. DeJounte Murray, who is supposed to be good on that end, was bad. So they get down 21, and they nearly come back. And another offensive rebound, if they just grabbed it, Trae Young, oddly, at the end of the fourth quarter there, went into the lane when Dante DiVincenzo got the ball corralled, or bounced to him at the three-point line when the Warriors needed a three. So Trae Young shouldn't have left Dante DiVincenzo. And then bang, tie game. We go into double overtime where, Klay was hot. But a disappointing game for the Hawks. 2 All-Stars in their backcourt. Obviously the more talented team on the floor. I think that needs to be said. They are the more talented team than the Golden State Warriors with all their injuries. And the Warriors got lucky to win this game, but the Hawks really, it's do or die time, I think. I mean, when are they going to come around? It's unfortunate. And Klay is
on a run right
getting
now.
the shots up. A Donovan Mitchell-like shot attempt night for Klay Thompson. Just letting it fly, baby. 39 shots for him.
Yeah, as a team, they attempted 59 threes, the Warriors did, which is a franchise record. Record for the Warriors. That says something.
And while there was 57 threes taken, Draymond Green, 45 seconds left, takes his first 3 of the game in double overtime. Bang, hits it, which, he has become a little bit... he's not a great shooter, obviously, but his number is better than his career average. It's somewhat doable, around 33% this year. So, yeah, the Warriors are feeling friggin' good. Well, the Hawks obviously shouldn't have gave this game away.
Thoughts on this one?
Yeah, 23 is honestly the big number in this one, the offensive rebounds for the Warriors. You could tell that Clint Capella was missing because on the DiVincenzo 3 at the end of overtime, it was 2 offensive rebounds. I mean, one of them, tough play, blocking Jordan Poole's 3, and then he tips it out to DiVincenzo. That's just tough. But not tough is the offensive rebound that Poole grabbed after the Klay air ball, basically. So that was bad. And then obviously letting Looney get 2 looks at it for the new menu item at the butcher shop. The big beef buzzer beater.
Oh, wow.
He had 18 rebounds going into that last shot. 1 off the glass, 1 into the hoop, 20 boards. That's a lot of roast beef and a win for the Warriors. But man, that's a disappointing loss for the Hawks. They had that game won.
Yep.
They should have been able to take that one down. It would have been the kind of thing you build on, really, if you're able to come back from being down 21, coming back against a good team like the Warriors. But Warriors are figuring out ways to win right now with Curry out and with Wiggins out. So imagine how good they're going to be when those guys actually come back.
Yeah, I mean, I think Warriors fans would probably agree with this, but like with them sort of like keeping their head above water with no Curry, and you got the Wolves sort of struggling though they picked up like a much needed win last night, and LeBron taking the Lakers, putting another 40-point game up too, and getting them another victory. Like they're keeping them at bay. But if the Warriors are like, obviously in the playoffs, I think we all think they'll be there at the end of the year. But wherever they are, I want you to remember this sort of chunk of the season here where Klay Thompson over his last 4 games is averaging 34.5 points per game, shooting 52, 42, and 93 shooting splits from obviously the field, the 3-point line, and the free throw line. He's got a 60% true shooting percentage. Like, this is an important little chunk here. Like, these are games, these are wins they need to have without Curry especially. And, his demise was greatly over-exaggerated. I think he's on a classic Klay Thompson heater right now. 34.5 points per game. I know in today's NBA that's like, so what? That seems like nothing, but that's a lot. That is still a lot from a guy that some people thought was like washed and done and like, trade him, get him out of here. It's like, especially with Poole, who's had some great games too. Poole was making boneheaded play after boneheaded play in this. He was trying to give this game to the Hawks, and Klay and Looney and the rest bailed him out there, DiVincenzo.
Yeah, Klay obviously can get any shot he wants with the Curry out. He can chuck it up as he did in this one. And he did that. It's interesting, him sitting out basically every third game to stay fresh for the playoffs. But the playoffs weren't a lock before Steph went down.
Yeah,
they really weren't. And Klay sits out every few games. But really, the depth of this roster has really helped him out. They're 6-3 since Steph went down, which is wild. And they got another 3 at home. They could easily be 9-3 while Steph is out.
Let's get to the hottest team in the league, though. Kyrie Irving and the Nets roll past the Spurs 139-103, and we make note of this one because it's their 12th straight victory, and they are knocking on the door of the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. There's something like 17-3 since Kyrie came back from his suspension. And last night it was Kyrie with 27, KD with 25. They played under 30 minutes because they blew the doors off the Spurs, and we had a putback dunk from Kyrie Irving, which caught everybody by surprise and had the Nets bench going absolutely ballistic. Again, I think a lot of people not knowing Kyrie had that in him. He just timed it perfectly on the Watanabe missed jumper there and threw it down.
Culture is good right now. If everybody's super excited for Kyrie to throw that down, felt like that was a game winner. Yeah, I looked and I thought, how many dunks has Kyrie had? Should they be that super duper excited?
He does not have a lot.
No.
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you looked it up.
Nah. I didn't actually go through it. I looked at
It's his first of the season. He had 1 last season.
Wow, okay.
I looked at his height, 6'2". Yeah, he could. It's just rare. He just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So to get up, yeah, pretty cool. Great culture. What? Yeah, the Brooklyn Nets have a great culture. They came out after Kyrie's suspension and lost a couple, but they have been absolutely flowing, and they want that 1 seed because if it comes down to it, if they actually go through and win the 1 seed and then win a playoff series, it would be Bucks Celtics in the second round. So they could avoid having to go through both of them and let the Bucks Celtics deal with that. I can't believe we're talking about the Nets in the 1 seed, but it was last year, January, I think 21st, they were in the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference last year, and then it all fell apart when Durant went out.
Right.
So I'm not betting on them, but they obviously look great.
I love that you said last night's game was basically over after the Kyrie dunk, which was like, if memory serves me right, like early in the second quarter maybe, but you're absolutely right. It was like, well, that was game because it was right after Watanabe he had dunked, had the place going nuts. He had hit a 3 too, And he's grinning ear to ear, and then the Kyrie putback, and it was like, okay, well, that's it. It was a huge lead by then, and you knew the Spurs were not coming back, even though first half leads generally are fake. Not in last night's game. Any thoughts on Kyrie and the Nets here and what they're doing?
They're cooking bad teams right now.
Yeah.
15-2 against teams that are under 500. 10-10 against teams that are over 500. So that's awesome, though. Like, that's how you get high seeds in a playoff series, by beating the teams that you absolutely have to beat. They've also beaten the Cavs, the Bucks, and the Warriors on this streak. 7 of their games have been on the road. I guess Kevin Durant was completely right about Steve Nash. Like, we had a lot of talks about, is Steve Nash a good coach? Is Steve Nash a bad coach? It's kind of hard to tell. Looks like Jacques Vaughn's a good coach. So I wonder if he'll actually, get a real chance with this team. So we shall see. The key is having everybody healthy, though. Kyrie and Kevin Durant and even Ben Simmons have been playing a lot. That helps. Having your 3 best players on the court gives you a chance every single night, especially against these stinker teams.
And even and it's sort of like completely slipped under the radar here. Does that make sense? Slipped under the radar?
Gone under the radar.
Same thing if you ask me. It's gone and slipped. Is TJ
can definitely slip under the radar.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, like I'm Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Well,
that's not a radar.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a laser.
That's a laser.
Oh, pretty similar too, if you ask me.
Which movie are you referring to?
I don't know what movie. I just know the scene because it's sexy as hell. What is that? Out of Sight? Is that what it's called?
No.
I don't know.
She's not in that.
Is it?
Somebody tell me.
It's a name like
it's
that.
Sean
It's like
Connery's
that?
in it, right?
Somebody in the stream team. Come on. What movie is
It's a
Catherine
deep cut.
Zeta-Jones going?
It's a laser, it's a radar, it's a Catherine.
But a plane can slip under the radar.
Ooh, that's good.
I think it would fly under the radar, personally.
What about
Personally,
a submarine?
No. That's sonar.
What are we getting here? Entrapment.
That's it.
Entrapment.
It is Sean Connery, though, right?
Thank you, AJ.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Everybody's coming through with it now. There's a little lag when you got the stream
nice.
team here. All right, that's fantastic. Why was I saying? Oh, I was about to say TJ Warren is back and playing well. Like he's had a couple really, really nice games from them. So that's just another piece for them to go along with. Obviously, Claxton giving them the defense, Simmons giving them the defense, and then you got your 2 lights out scorers who are on one. And that's for real, man. I mean, it's just you just gotta cross your fingers and hold your breath that it's all about basketball. Because if it's all about basketball and they're all healthy and there's no off-court distractions or whatever, then they're a damn good team. We've seen them before be a good team. It's can they just do this for an extended period and do it at the right time and peak at the right time? That's the question. You never know. And that's probably a big reason why, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but maybe why you don't want to bet on them, or why a lot of people don't want to bet on them.
Well, yeah, the regular season is a lot different than the playoffs. When they take a couple bumps, a couple lumps, I'd rather believe in the Bucks and Celtics being resilient enough to bounce back. They crumbled against the Celtics last year. And so
but we also almost saw Kevin Durant single-handedly beat the Bucks 2 years ago.
Yeah, okay. But last year they got swept. I mean, it's we can pick and parse throughout NBA history, but last year they literally fell apart. So is it just a better locker room now than it was last year without Steve Nash? I mean, they just probably like Jacques Vaughn. I don't think Jacques Vaughn is a way better coach. They just don't like Steve Nash, I imagine. They just didn't like him around. And as Kyrie said, we can coach ourselves. I guess they can. They are healthier. That's a part of it. They're deeper. So Durant's been doing this the whole season, and Kyrie is probably the biggest factor. He's playing basketball now.
We still have 8 other games to try and slip in here, so that's how we're going to do it. Okay, in the Eastern Conference, seeds 5 through 8, they all won. Joel Embiid, a monster line as the 76ers got past the Pelicans. Zion hurt his hamstring in that one, had to leave in the fourth quarter. We had the Pacers getting past the Raptors there for their 4th straight victory. Bam Adebayo, he scored 31. Heat recovered to beat the Clips by 10. And then Randall and Brunson helped to lift the Knicks over the Suns, 102-83. The Suns are down bad right now without Booker. That was that odd 3 p.m. Eastern start there. That probably screwed with a lot of, daily fantasy players for all I know. But, all those teams won. Is there any one of those games or performances that either of you guys wanted to address?
Phoenix Suns scored 11 points in the first quarter of their game against the Knicks.
Glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
They were playing at noon, Phoenix time. Unfair, I think. Not fair to the Phoenix Suns to have to try and roll out of bed and play a team like the New York Knicks. But I see Julius Randle has strung together a nice set of games here.
Yeah.
Over 30 a game, basically, over his last 5. He's looking good, but like you're saying, the Suns need Devin Booker to come back basically immediately, and they need to wake up a little earlier.
Unfair that the Suns started at 12. Also a little unfair that the thing going around social media was DeAndre Ayton doing a granny style mid-court shot before the game. This guy's practicing this while he should be practicing at the rim before a game. He does that every game.
Right.
So, if it was Steph Curry doing that, he plays he curls. That's
a good point.
Does curling.
Yeah.
He plays volleyball before games.
Yeah, but he backs it up when he plays.
Yeah, well,
game.
Unfortunately for the Suns, they got shellacked. Unfortunately, Zion Williamson out with that injury. Hopefully he's okay. He's okay. That's worrisome that he could be out for a bit because hammies tend to linger.
Those 4 teams, though, Sixers, Pacers, Heat, and Knicks, all separated by 3 games there in that, again, 5 to 8th slot in the Eastern Conference. And that's just another reason why that was such a brutal loss for the Hawks, too. Trying to catch those teams, and also on a night where the Raptors and the Bulls, our 2 teams, pick up another L, and that could have, separated them another game there, but they don't gain that because they're still up a little bit on those 2 teams, but not by much.
And I know you didn't want to call it a blowout, the Pacers or the Raptors, but they picked them apart in that last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. Yeah, that's how wild it is that the Pacers are so far and away a better team than the Toronto Raptors offensively.
Yeah,
team guys,
is the key word.
5 guys going at all times. Halliburton is getting everybody involved, and they all can make something happen. They're all weapons out there, while the Raps are not.
The Pacers did a great job. I watched the majority of this game. They did a great job of getting the Raptors to play their type of game, like this up and down affair. Pacers play fast, man. It's fun. They are really, really fun watch. And Raptors fell into okay, we can have a little track meet here, and we can get a bunch of rushed threes up when we shouldn't. Fred VanVleet can't. He is just outside of that 1 week where it looked like old VanVleet. He has had such a bad season. And it hurts them because Gary Trent Jr. is doing his part. Siakam's still been an all-star type player, but they can't all get it going on most nights on the same night. They're star players. Like Scotty looked good last night, but he had Fred VanVleet having a stinker of a game. OG was bad last night. He's looked good at other times. It's just the Raptors, they need to do something here. They just need to decide if they're all right, sort of we will not lean into the tank, but we will look to the future, getting a high draft pick again, wherever, maybe we get lucky, all that, or shake shit up and trade a core piece for even another core piece, just because the funk around this team is brutal. And then Precious is back now, and it's not going to change much. Sorry, man.
No, it's okay. I think Fred VanVleet, what he would say is, I was an all-star last year, and they haven't put the ball in my hands this year, and he has actually said that. And I think that's been a part of why he's had a roller coaster of a season. And I don't know if he's frustrated to the point where he wants out. Obviously, he plays good soldier, and he's battling through it. But I think they would have been better off that game right here in Atlanta when AJ Griffin did it to us. If the ball's in Fred's hands at the end of the game instead of other guys, then they win the game. He feels like he should have had the ball in his hands more. He's, again, played good soldier, and Nick Nurse has said, if we got 5 guys who are weapons who can have the ball in their hands, like we were just talking about the Pacers, then we'd be better off. But Barnes hasn't lived up to his part of it. Even Gary Trent didn't live up to his part of it for a lot of the season. And they've had a lot of guys in and out. So I don't know if they knock one of those guys out of the as a building block. If
you either trade VanVleet or you trade OG. If that's the path you're going to take.
Two, yeah.
Or, like I said, you get Siakam to the All-Star game, and then in the second half, his plantar fasciitis is acting up, and you lean into Scotty Barnes point guard development, and you just sort of honestly almost mail in the rest of the season. Well, that's what you do. Those are your really only 2 options.
The second part of this show, we're getting into some bold prediction. Okay. Players who should be moved. Yeah. Okay. I can see a Raptor on the horizon.
Okay.
Feb 9.
Well, the other 4 games, I'll just chuck them at you here. LeBron, 43. Lakers held off the Hornets. He threw down a wicked Reverse oop, yeah, it was from Schroeder, I think. Luka scored 39. Mavs had to rally to get back into that game and won over the Rockets 111-106. Anthony Edwards scored 29. Shorthanded Wolves beat the Nuggets 124-111. They needed that. And Jeremy Grant scored 36 against his old team. And Gary Payton II came back. A little solid debut. Only played 14 minutes, but made some hustle-like plays and threw an oop to Sharp as, again, the Blazers beat the Pistons. Any thoughts on any of those?
Lucas sucks. 39.
Weak.
Pick it up, bud. He started real slow in that game, ended with 39. I think we should say about the Wolves, because it's easy to harp on them when they're down. They took care of a Denver Nuggets team that was incredible the night before against the Boston Celtics, and the Wolves fought so much harder than the Boston Celtics did the previous night. They came out and they hit first, and they were physical defensively, and that was a very, very impressive win. Let's see if they can string it together. But what was more impressive was that reverse from LeBron James at 38. Wow.
And what, for oldest guy, I guess, now to
dunk.
go back-to-back 40-point games? Yeah.
oldest guy to go back.
Yeah, I don't
back-to-back?
think Jordan did that at that age. I'm pretty sure he didn't go back-to-back. I don't think so. But
He did the 50.
LeBron did
51, right?
47 here and 43 in his last two games. Not bad.
Yeah.
He's getting close to that Kareem.
He missed a lot of games. He missed a lot of games, so now he's having to score more than 25 a game to get to the record at Madison Square Garden. It's still going to happen. Nuggets, tough loss. Third game in 4 nights. They were on the road. They got to figure out how to win some road games, but I wouldn't be super concerned. But I thought Anthony Edwards was incredible in the second half of this game. 21 he scored in the second half. He had the 3-ball working. He was just in attack mode all night. He looked like he was in total control last night. So really nice win for the Timberwolves.
And again, just to go back to Gary Payton II, I don't know why I'm struggling to say his name. GP2, are you with me? Billups talked about like his energy, and so did Lillard, like how he's like a bit of a dynamic player in the sense like he's a sort of like, I guess Alvarado-like, right? Where he's like can just change the vibe of a game because of his hustle. And Billups said, quote, "You see a guy doing those type of things, diving on the floor, kicking it up for the steal. If you don't match that level of intensity, you look bad, and it changes things for you." I love that. There are players like that can lift your stars or your other players. Like, oh yeah, this guy's working way harder than I am. I better get at it a little bit more. Get in my defensive stance. Hit the glass. Dive for a ball every once in a while. I think it's true, and he is that type of player. So it's good for the Blazers, who have had a really, really good season here. A little up and down at times, but they're in the mix. So maybe this little GP2 spark gets them some more wins here. I think it will help defensively.
If a guy who hurt his elbow is diving on the floor with an elbow that remains injured, like he said after the game, this is going to be something that bothers me throughout the entire season. Yeah, you got to pick it up for him. He's Alvarado-like. There was somebody doing the Alvarado sneak last night. I saw it. There's just not many sneakers out there, but I don't know. It snuck past the video frame, and he couldn't make it happen, so they didn't show a replay.
Maybe somebody in the stream team knows what you're talking about.
I saw Najee Marshall doing it for the Pelicans not too long ago. I'm like, they're probably teaching it in practice now. At this point, he's like, right? Like, you spend all day with the guy. Jose Alvarado seems like a nice guy. Najee Marshall, young player, making his name in the league. Hey, can you teach me that sneak steal? Yeah, sure, man. I got you. They score a basket. Just hide. Squat down. They'll never see you. Unfortunately, Najee Marshall, a little bit taller.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work quite as good.
Well, you just, like, when you were saying that, I was like, should the Pelicans, I mean, they have Zion, but, like, or should another team, like, go get Boban and then use him as, like, a shield? So then, like, a taller guy could hide behind him. You don't have to be a tiny Alvarado.
Nesting doll defense.
Yeah.
I like it. It's very high risk since you're putting two players right under the hoop, 90 feet from your hoop.
Yeah.
But it might work a couple of times.
Yeah, I think it could. I think we should see that. All right, well, let's take our first break. Lots more still to get to. When we come back, some bold predictions for the 2023 NBA season. Don't go anywhere.
New year, new goals, and Factor is back in the Classic Factory to help you achieve each and every one of them. The goals. That's what you're achieving. With Factor, you can save time and have the energy you need to tackle everything on your to-do list with ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. With Factor, not only can you skip the trip to the grocery store, but you can also skip the chopping, prepping, and cleaning up too. If you gave up chopping, prepping, and cleaning for New Year's, A, that's twisted. But B, It's also perfect because Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes. So all you have to do is heat and enjoy. With 34 chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options, there's always something new to try. No matter what your lifestyle, Factor has the meals to help you live it to the fullest with keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and protein plus meals on the menu each week. Plus, you can round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of 36 plus quick bites, smoothies, juices, and more satisfying add-ons. Get America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit and start saving time, eating well, and living your best year ever. Head to factor75.com/NoDunk60. Use code NoDunk60 to get 60% off your first box. That's code NoDunk60 at factor75.com/NoDunk60 to get 60% off your first box.
You didn't give up numbers for
no,
New
no,
Year's.
no, no, no.
A lot of numbers.
he loves numbers.
Numbers.
New year, new you. We've heard it before. We just heard it in your ad read. No, but we've heard this before, right? Like, this is the year I'm gonna get into the gym. Or this is the year I'm gonna get into the pool, start swimming again. Or this is the year I'm gonna try parkour. No, you're not. You're not doing parkour. You can barely walk. You ain't jumping from a metal railing to a cement block, right? You can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't.
You cannot do that.
My point is, it's hard to stick with fitness goals after that initial burst of motivation when you get into the new year there. I read that 1 out of 4 people quit their New Year's resolution within the first week.
I believe it.
Not month, not half a year. First week, 1 out of 4 like, nah, so much for that New Year's resolution. It's tough, because if it wasn't, you'd already be doing it, right? But I'm gonna tell you what can help. Your chances of seeing those fitness resolutions through until success. Peloton, baby! Now, everyone knows Peloton makes bikes, but there's so much more than that. They also make treadmills, and they have tons of classes. Yoga, strength training, HIIT,
Oh, high intensity interval training?
boxing, they got it all. Peloton instructors have a variety of different training backgrounds and styles of motivation that work for people of all fitness levels. They can get you moving, whether that's a 10-minute power walk or a 30-minute endurance ride. My favorite part, work out when it works for you, right? Peloton offers thousands of on-demand classes available 24/7. That means you can work out whenever and wherever it's convenient for you. And hey, are you a Grant Hill? Do you like music?
I do like music.
Yeah, good, because nothing gets you moving like the perfect song. Peloton has the best playlists, whether you're looking for EDM, 90s pop, something soulful maybe. Peloton has music to fit your mood. I've said that before. I like slow jams to run to. You would think you need like that high, energetic music, but no, find a groove.
That's when you stop. When it's too fast and you
Yeah.
burst out of the gate and then you're
get a
dead.
nice groove going. Get
Yeah.
your rhythm going. You don't have to be a super athlete to enjoy Peloton because there are classes for every level. Whether you exercise daily or you're new to working out, Peloton can help you achieve your fitness goals. So try Peloton risk-free with a 30-day home trial. That's for new members only. It's not available in remote locations. So what you gotta do is move your family to an urban area and then get working out. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial. onepeloton.com/home-trial. All right, back with the boys here at the Classic Factory. Yes, Trey Kerby with the Bluth-like vibes from Arrested Development. Did you, after the 71 points from Mitchell, walk into your house because you were watching it on your porch and just like collapse to the floor? Drop your bag?
Yeah, just laid down,
Yeah.
face first. I like how you can't tell which way my body's facing.
Yeah, that was. Did he flip the image?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he did. He did
flip
flip
the image.
Wow, good job, Jerome.
You can only tell by the hands.
That's attention to detail right there.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, you're right. You couldn't tell that was your butt or your Dickens for a second.
Thanks.
I'm sure that's a compliment.
Yeah,
but
I'm
maybe-
gonna start doing some squats here, Skeets.
Okay.
Dickens squats?
All right. And also, hey, look.
I'll demonstrate the Dickensian squat after the show. Tune into our social channels.
I fact-checked you earlier about a Robin Lopez tweet that you just had incorrect, and you were fact-checking me during the break. I may have misspoke when I said LeBron was the oldest player ever to score back-to-back 40s. Is that correct? Because I know you.
That's not correct anymore.
Okay, so it's Jordan, obviously.
It's Michael Jordan. I'm seeing some stats here that people think he played for the Washington Wizards later in his career.
Yeah.
But apparently in December of 2001, he had a 51-point game followed by a 45-point game at 38 years and 10 months old.
Oh, okay.
And then he did it again in January of 2002. 38 and 11 months old, a 40 and then a 40.
Oh, okay. So what did I? So I was
40
wrong.
then 40.
Wherever I saw that LeBron stat, because I was even then doing the math. Maybe I saw LeBron oldest player ever to have the most points in a 2-game span, but that wouldn't make sense too if you said 51 and 45, because that's more than the 47 and 43 that LeBron went for.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, maybe people are finally catching on to this. Michael Jordan never really played for the Wizards.
Yeah,
They're like, that can't count.
No.
That can't be real.
They crossed it from the record books. All right, let's get into a fun new segment here. Bold predictions. Yeah, look into your crystal ball and make some bold predictions for the 2023 NBA season. Got some fun questions for you guys and for everybody joining us live here on YouTube or listening to the podcast later. Tweet in your answers at NoDunksInc. First bold prediction question. Who is a surprising player, Tass, that will be traded before the deadline here? Surprising is the tough part of this because, a lot of...
Every team has been named. Every player has been named. We name them a lot, especially on the internet. People go deep, right? I mean, 400 names, no problem. So I think everybody has been named. I have a bolder one and one that I actually think is going to happen, a more conservative one. Let's start with the bold one.
Okay.
I think Masai Ujiri and the Raptors cash in on OG Anunoby's trade value. That is through the roof. That sum, as Zach Lowe has said, would garner you a package like Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert.
It's not.
Well, it's wild. Now, a trade partner who likes to wheel and deal, who likes to gunsling it, David Griffin of the New Orleans Pelicans, likes to go for it. Last year, he made the move for CJ McCall. Now we're seeing Zion Williamson, peak Zion, looking extremely good. Hopefully the hamstring is okay. And then he says, all right, one more part. OG Anunoby, come on over. Come on over for a package that includes a center, a Jackson Hayes. All right, you're not too excited. I get it. But maybe an OG Anunoby light in Herb Jones because you already have OG Anunoby. You don't need him. And then there's some younger parts, Kyra Lewis, but 2 draft picks. 2 first-round draft picks being the juiciest part. You're not getting 3. Let's slow it down. But 2 first-round draft picks if Masai Ujiri says it's time to take this thing down. I think he loves OG a little too much, but at the same time, Masai will trade his kids. No problem. He's shown it before.
Right.
He would trade Kyle Lowry before they won the championship. So that's mine. And it actually works out. You throw in another piece there with the Pelicans, it would actually work out. Now, with
Pelicans love
do
them
that,
some Herb Jones, too, and rightfully so. That's my only hang up there, yeah.
But you got Trey Murphy, who's grown into a wing-type player. Squint. What do you got? You got Zion and Jonas in the front court, OG and Trey Murphy on the wings to go with CJ McCollum. Maybe that David Griffin would
Did you say Ingram?
Oh, I didn't even say.
No.
I didn't even say.
He is on the team, but he's been out for a while. I know.
You don't need him. Trade him. Brandon Ingram gone. You can go big. Zion at the 5, not good defensively, but that would make it interesting. You still need some guards, but Zion is playing guard essentially. So I don't know if that happens. I doubt it.
But the bold prediction part is, and maybe at this point it's getting less and less bold, but the idea that Masai Ujiri will trade, I guess, OG in your case here.
Yeah, I doubt it, but you're right. It feels like nothing is bold anymore. OG has been traded like every day for the last 3 months. Yeah. But if the Raptors, I do think him letting go OG Anunoby would be bold for him. Even Masai, he's got to love OG. Everybody loves OG.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't love his team not winning games.
No.
And if the overlap is too similar in your OG and your Scotty and your Siakam, then maybe you switch it up. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your other one then? More realistic one.
I'll let Trey go first.
Okay.
What a tease.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do that, Task, because my surprising player is not exciting.
No, either is mine. That's why I passed it on to you.
What about this underwhelming trade target. Honestly, I kind of think the Rudy Gobert trade a little bit ruined the trade market because he's not a top 10 guy, but that's like a top 10 package all time that went back for Rudy Gobert. So if you're trading somebody who's in the top 20, like a Bradley Beal, I mean, he's probably on the borderline there. The Wizards are going to want back a Rudy Gobert package, and is anybody giving that kind of thing up right now? I don't know. That's why my surprising player to be traded, none other than Robert Covington.
Oh, Sir Robert Covington.
I know. I didn't hear any fanfare at all when I said that name out loud, but he played all of 7 games and 100 minutes in December. He's played in 4 of the last 12 Clippers games. He's basically just out of the rotation for LA, and they're probably going to be targeting size going forward because Zubats is their only real big guy around. They're going to likely run into Nikola Jokic at some point, maybe Zion as well. Covington hasn't shot the ball well this season, but he's 36% in his career. He makes less money next season than he does this season. So if you're a team that needs a stretch 5, a stretch 4, you could probably get Robert Covington from the Clippers.
Right.
It wouldn't be dissimilar to like getting a Jay Crowder who hasn't been playing for the entire season.
Yep.
So I think he'll be on the move. Exciting times.
You didn't go salacious. You went. Went with something that's tangible, something that's needed. The Clippers have 1,000 wings. They need to get bigger. It's totally true. So that one makes sense.
Okay, and what was your other one?
Oh, I've got someone extremely similar. Now, I start from the Memphis Grizzlies perspective. I think it's time, baby. It's time to beef it up a little bit, just like the Pelicans. Grizzlies, Pelicans, both teams looking at this Western Conference picture like, maybe we can go for it.
There's an opening,
Yeah, and so I don't think the Grizzlies want to go nuts. I think they love their core, but they can tinker, and I think they could use a wing. The Dillon Brooks experience is a little roller coaster-ish at times, so why not get somebody a little more stable? Harrison Barnes would be my guy, like a Robert Covington. Would the Kings want to trade Harrison Barnes when they're on the verge of making their first round of the playoffs? Maybe not, but if you juice it up with a decent enough of a pick, maybe. Then you look and you say Dillon Brooks and Desmond Bane in the backcourt, plus Dillon Brooks at the wing, or if it's Harrison Barnes who jumps in for him with your front court of Jaren Jackson Jr. and Steven Adams. It props you up a little bit. You got Danny Green's expiring contract to trade. It's ready to go out the door. He is a member of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's ready to go.
Brian Windhorst traded him on the air with him sitting right beside him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if Harrison Barnes is dealt, but former champ, former starter for an NBA champion.
Yeah,
that's true.
A long
That was a
time
factoid.
ago. So he'd be a nice stabilizing to the roller coaster experience that is Dillon Brooks.
Yeah.
Once Dillon Brooks goes out for one game and Harrison Barnes goes in there, I don't think he's giving up the job ever again.
Oh, they love Dillon Brooks though.
They do.
They're talking him up as a potential defensive player of the year, which is kind of crazy since the other defensive player of the year is probably on their team. But they should be an OG Anunoby team more so than a Harrison Barnes team. I think OG's only 25. That's like the missing piece for them. So I think the Pelicans and the Grizzlies should both be after OG. Really, they need the same thing.
Yeah, they need a wing.
Hey, I like that idea. Last time the Raptors made a trade with the Grizzlies, they won a championship. Let's do it again. Marc Gasol.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Not that getting back Roddy's going to bring us a championship to Toronto, but I like what you're thinking. I think there's teams the Cavs have sort of been looking for a wing player too. I think the Bucks could use a little more athleticism on the wing. I know you love Joe Ingles being back, but Beauchamp, the rookie, probably too soon for him. Nwora, no, not really. I think they could use sort of a wing guy. There's a lot of teams that could use, especially in a playoff series when all these guys can go for 45 and 50 points every night, generally from the wing positions, somebody that can maybe make life a little more difficult. High demand. But good stuff there, guys. All right, next one. Which team is going to turn it around? I want a bold prediction. And what I mean by that is sort of looking at last year's Celtics, right, in a way. A disappointing team. What's going on? Are they just straight up bad? And then they just flipped it around in the calendar year and in their case went all the way to the finals, nearly won the whole damn thing. Is there a team that you truly believe, bold prediction, can turn it around? Here you go.
We believe that the Warriors will finish with a top 4 seed in the Western Conference. Okay. Wish we had got this question a little bit earlier because now they're rolling. They're only 2 games out of 4th right now, though, and they're figuring out how to win without their most important offensive player, obviously, in Steph Curry, and their best wing defender in Wiggins. it's just a matter of time, really, before the Warriors are a home court advantage team. They've been awesome at home, so they're going to see the value in actually being a home court advantage team. So I think it's very likely that the Warriors go on a run here because they're already going on a run. So not super exciting.
That's fine.
They're going to do it.
Yeah, it's
Well, this is tough because I was looking at the teams. Like, if you were really trying to just get this to a list, disappointing teams, after you remove teams that we thought would be bad, are in the East, the Hawks, the Bulls, and the Raptors, right? So those three teams. I don't think there's really anyone else. I mean, because the Heat, I guess, are sort of they're getting up there. They're getting their shit together. And in the West, it's probably just the Wolves and the Lakers, that are sub 500 disappointing teams. Mm-hmm. So unless you have another team that
no,
I didn't see.
The Brooklyn Nets have done it over the last month. Extremely surprising that they've turned it around. I think the Golden State Warriors will get up there to literally to bang with all the big boys in the Western Conference. Outside of the Denver Nuggets, I think the Warriors would be the favorite in the Western Conference, which is a little bonkers to say, but their starting five remains the best starting five in the NBA, and they just have to get it on the floor. Will it happen soon enough? I think so. The way they've handled it, 6-3 since Steph Curry has gone down.
And Wiggins was supposed to be back, and then I think got sick again. Yeah,
he's sick.
What's he got? The flu? It's going around.
Everybody does, yeah.
He's ill, and not in a good way. Yeah, I don't know. They just said that he's got an illness.
Okay. So you're going Warriors too here. We're cheating a little bit because they are, I guess, above 500. But that's fair.
Well, there's nobody.
Okay, so I guess you were saying you don't believe in the Hawks, Bulls, or Raptors to turn around their season?
Oh, no. Bulls just turned theirs around, actually. I don't know if you noticed this, but since they gave up 150 points to the Minnesota Timberwolves, had a team meeting, they're 5-3.
There you go.
Since then. They lost to the Rockets in the Şengün game, which I took in with my own eyes. Then they lost to the Cavs by 1 and the Cavs in overtime. Zach LaVine has turned the corner. He's looking good basically ever since they sat him down and said, hey, start playing better. And I don't know if you guys caught this update. Lonzo Ball is barely jumping while shooting.
Jesus.
So he
can jump play in the NBA again?
This season?
Probably not.
We shall see. But if he comes back, man, the Bulls are already peaking right now.
All right.
Yeah, they look good. I want to.
Good.
Yeah, Zach looks good.
What about the Suns for this answer?
Yeah, that's
once
a decent answer.
if they ever get Devin Booker. I mean, we've learned how important Devin Booker is to this team. I mean, that's pretty apparent because CP is looking old, and Ayton's just practicing granny shots from half court. I'm kidding. I was on the Ayton train there for a while. He was putting up really, really good numbers, and when they were winning, when Booker was there. But people think they're gonna. Maybe it's the Jay Crowder move, which we've just been waiting for, but they might need to do something too here to sort of salvage a season that's slipping away a little bit. They could be here.
Yeah, I had him on my list.
All right.
And they are injured, obviously, Booker, but it would help to have Cam Johnson in there as well. So it has probably going to come within.
Right.
But the problem is Booker's out at least another 3.5.
Yeah, it's like a month or so.
That's a while. But I kind of want to buy the Hawks, but their schedule is really, really tough. If they had a little home stretch, the reason why I would buy the Hawks is because when their backs are against the wall, when they actually see that, oh, damn, we're not going to climb the standings this season, then they'll start to play. And that point is coming, but the schedule is so hard. They've got so many tough, not only tough home games, but they're on the road a lot. So I want to say.
And what's going on with Nate McMillan? I mean, Sham said he thought about resigning. He rejected that. Should they just move on and go with another coach? It's worked before for them.
It's worked for the Nets to be maybe.
Yeah,
just to switch it up.
All right, next one here. Bold prediction. Surprising player to crash the MVP table. Okay, so let's just clarify. I know we've cheated a little bit. We usually say it's 5 guys, but I think we have 6 guys sitting at the MVP table. It's Jokic, it's Luka, it's Giannis, it's Embiid, it's KD, and it's Tatum. Right? Those are the 6. And we cannot bring a 7th chair to the table. It's already too crowded. There's Ja Morant over by the bar. There's Zion over by the bar. A couple other guys going in and out of the restaurant. But who do you think, and I don't mean this like who's going to win MVP, like, whoa, what a shock. I just think there's many times where a guy has like a 2-week run where we're like, ooh, DeMar DeRozan, for example. Paul George has been an example before where you're like, whoa, what a run they're putting together here. They maybe sat down at the MVP table for a second. So who could be a surprising player? Trey, go first.
Donovan Mitchell just texted Nikola Jokic and said, you guys got any room over there? Not right now, Donovan. Unfortunately, not right now.
Right.
But get that field goal percentage up a little bit, get that free throw percentage up a little bit. He's at 29 points per game on 49% field goal shooting, 41 from 3, and 86 from the free throw line. He's knocking on the door of 50, 40, 90 with 30 points per game. The schedule gets easier for the Cavs in the second half of the season, and it will get even easier, I'm sure, as the Detroits and Orlandos of the world really pack it in at the end of the year. He's only 8th on the Basketball Reference MVP tracker because it overvalues rebounding. I hate to say it, but I think Mitchell is going to make a little bit of a run here. Obviously, he's an incredible player. He'll likely start in the All-Star game. And 30 points per game, 50, 40, 90, kind of undeniable to at least be in the mix.
Let's just say this. If Mitchell follows up a 71-point game with like a 50-burger, which is not that far-fetched, really, in today's NBA, he'll immediately be sitting there. Somebody will have to get up and at least have him keep the seat warm. Like, if that happens. That's a good pick after the 71 last night. Anyone else? Surprising.
And the Mitchell growth is wild. You'd think after coming from Utah, now playing with a couple All-Stars, that his numbers would drop.
Yeah.
Usage rate drops, but he's become more efficient. Career highs in points, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage. He is having a great season. I don't know how you can pick anybody to join the table. We've named every guy.
No, we haven't.
We've named every guy. Every guy has been named. The table has people sitting on it, under it. It's packed.
Yeah.
Steph was there. Obviously, the injury hurts.
Yeah.
I guess he would be a surprise if he joins again. But I think that's a decent one to sneak in there because the Warriors could jump in the standings because they definitely value getting the flow going, getting good before the playoffs. They're not like a Clippers team, although the Clippers are going to try. The Warriors are going to try and win games in January and February. So I think they could climb the standings and Steph could be up there. Mitchell's great. Zion is another sneaky one if he stays healthy, but everybody's been named, man.
No, one name hasn't. I
Everybody.
got one guy that's going to show up for like 3 days if he stays playing at the level he's playing at and his team keeps winning. Because I was like looking at this like, who hasn't even really been in the restaurant yet? They just parked, but they're still outside. Who has a team that needs to improve? I think that's a big part of it, right? It's like tough. These guys at the top are on the best team, so we need a team that's like sort of disappointed a little bit, but could like win a bunch of games, maybe get up there into like a home court advantage. And then I think a guy to help his chances to get in this MVP discussion would have to be like looked at like as a defensive guy too, because it has to be like, well, we have like a million guys scoring 40 points.
A different argument?
Yeah, like just like this guy also brings it defensively. You know, not like that Embiid and Giannis don't and stuff like that, but Bam Adebayo. I think Bam could have a small window where he sits down maybe for a week. And over his last 4 games, Bam is averaging, I mean, these don't even sound that impressive, I guess, but 27, 11, and 2. And then he's shooting 59% from the floor, and he's included, here's the defense part, where basically 2 steals per game and round up a little bit, a block and a half a game. That's a lot of stocks. So they're winning. They won 3 of those 4 games that he's put up these monster numbers. I think they're undefeated. The Heat are when he scores 30 points in a game. I think they're 7-0. So I just see Bam like a small little window here, because they could like get up there. They're like 20 and 18. So there you go. Now we've named everybody.
Now it's been named.
yeah. Bam Adebayo, a surprising player to crash the MVP table. Eat like a jalapeno popper and then leave, and not pay for it.
I wouldn't expect him to, honestly. If it's just one popper, that's fine.
No. I mean, you can have actually multiple. I think that's fair.
Finish them.
No, if they're there already, absolutely.
Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah,
we already ate our pizza.
Yeah. Okay. Final one here. Bold predictions. This is just a fun one. Who joins the 50-point game club next? And I mean, we were gonna go 60, which we maybe should have, but 50 points is way more doable in today's game. We've had 9 guys score 50 points at least once this season. Luka's done it 3 times, including that one 60-point game. Booker and Embiid did it twice. And then now, after last night, with 2 more guys being added to the list, Mitchell 71, Anthony Davis had a 55, Klay 54 last night, Siakam 52, Garland 51, and Curry had a 50-burger. So that's 9 guys. Who's next? Tess? Who you got?
Well, I wanted to go deep in the queue. Somebody who hasn't even sniffed 50. to make it a little more interesting, I'm going with Devin Vassell of the San Antonio Spurs.
Wow, that's a pull.
That's a pull. Career high of
That's nice
29 points, but I think the ingredients are there. He shoots a lot of threes, so that helps.
generally
He
important.
shoots 7 threes a game. It's a San Antonio Spurs team that everyone's overlooking now. What about in a few weeks? What about in a month? Everybody's going to be overlooking them, and so he could get hot. He's an incredible shooter.
a good one.
I'm buying Devin Vassell's career in the NBA, and he's. I thought of him as a tiny guy, but he's thicker than I thought. I think he's got a long career ahead of him. That's a big jump, though. 21 points, basically. That would be a lot.
You said his career high is 29.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
It's not quite.
That is
it's not quite.
It's a bold prediction.
It's even more than Andre Miller and his jump. Remember when Andre Miller had a wild 50-point game?
Right.
His career high was 37 before that. So it's Terrence Ross-ish, I guess. But even Terrence Ross had more than 29. So this just ain't gonna happen.
Well, it's not going to happen next, probably. But I like that you're like, this is going to be a wild card 50-pointer at the end of the year here. What about you, Trey?
Okay, so next I think it's going to be a star. I think Nikola Jokic gets a 50-burger. Just needs one, to stay at the table. Just like, hey, remember me? I had a terrible game last night, too. Only 24, 9, and 7. Weak sauce. That's like a half for a lot of these guys. And then a 50-point game we will see from a random dude. I think Jalen Green will have a 10 3-pointer game. The guy's just an explosive kind of scorer. Eventually, teams are going to care even less about playing against the Rockets, but they play super fast. He loves to shoot. So, yeah, he hasn't had a 50-point game yet in his career. I think he'll get one.
I love it. Who joins the 50-point club next? Here's what I did for this. I looked into my crystal ball, and within it was the NBA schedule and tonight's games, because it's likely it'll just happen tonight.
It's a great point.
So, Celtics Thunder. Tatum hasn't done it yet. Brown could do it. SGA could do it. All right, could be one of those guys. Wizards Bucks. Giannis hasn't done it yet. Hell, would anyone be surprised if Kyle Kuzma popped off for 50 points in the game? No. And then Kings Jazz is the third game tonight. Sabonis, Fox, Larry Markkinen. So one of those guys, I'm saying it happens tonight.
It happens tonight.
A 50-point game happens tonight. That's my bold prediction.
I had Rui Hachimura as a possibility.
He's hot right
too.
now.
He's scorching. Yeah, and we'll be watching that game. Doing a little playback fun.
Good call. Playback is back tonight. Little watch party. We got the link in the YouTube description right now. It's really, really fun if you haven't joined us before. And we're like fairly new to this. You did a baseball. I did an NBA game during the holiday break. You got to just
watch.
You
Just
can
watch a
sign
game.
up for free.
Click, watch.
And then you just log in with whatever your TV provider is. So if you're a League Pass person, if you're DirecTV, if you're YouTube, it's pretty cool. It like gets
cool.
rid of the, like, if we do it on YouTube where it's like, oh, I'm 10 seconds ahead. I'm 5 seconds behind. It completely gets rid of that. And then you can come up on stage, ask questions. It's a lot of fun. So we're doing that tonight. No dunks. 8 p.m. Eastern. We got 2 games to play with at 8 p.m. We can jump back and forth. Celtics Thunder, Wizards Bucks. All right, let's take our last break. When we come back, pick 'em results and tweet of the night.
It's that time of year. Got to be a little carb conscious. We want to keep the pounds off. You know how you do that? Have fun while doing it. You got to start your day off with Magic Spoon, a cereal that's good for the low-carb lifestyle while still feeling like a kid. Magic Spoon has replicated our favorite childhood cereals, but each serving contains 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 net grams of carbs. Feeling like a kid is also on everyone's resolution list. I see them going on Instagram. Act like a kid again and feel like a kid again. Well, Magic Spoon, they got you. How about flavors like cocoa, fruity, frosted, blueberry muffin, maple waffle, honey nut, cookies and cream, cinnamon roll, and my fave, peanut butter. Like a kid, you won't get bored with so many unique flavors. It's a keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, and soy-free way to relive those moments while watching your favorite cartoons. Did anybody watch cartoons over the holidays break?
Certainly.
No.
Which one?
My Little Pony.
New ones
theme
or
song.
classics? I mean, do they make new ones? I guess they do.
Yeah, they're on to the next generation. See you later, Rainbow Dash.
Why? I loved Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash is a classic.
Yeah.
New animation style.
Oh,
They just
wow.
gotta change it up, Just shake it up.
Anyway, plus, it's only 140 calories per serving. It's like there's magic in every spoonful. I hope My Little Pony doesn't steal that line from Magic Spoon. They could. Head to magicspoon.com/nodunks to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try the magic for yourself. And be sure to use our promo code NODUNKS at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/NoDunks and use the code NODUNKS to save $5. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
Well, sometimes the forced swerve works in your favor. Trey Kerby basically had to take the Heat because Tass and I had the Clippers to cover 4.5 last night. Heat win outright. Big money line hit for Trey Kirby. He's rich now.
Huge.
So rich, he's getting his shirts monogrammed over there. So that's a win.
That's right,
TK.
that's right. Old money style.
That's right, my man.
I'm a little nervous though, Skeets, because I took all my winnings from last night and put it on Bam Adebayo to win MVP.
Oh no! I told you it'd be there for a week.
Sorry, bud. Sorry.
Listen more closely. All right, so Trey's up here. Early start here to the month of January. You're up one game. You're perfect. 1-0. We're 0-1. What's tonight's game though? Only 3 to pick from.
Only 3 games on the schedule, which I think is the perfect amount of games. I love it. You can really take in each game. Washington at Milwaukee. Huge spread.
Yeah.
The Bucks are favored by 8.5 points.
What? The Wizards have won like 5 or 6 in a row. Yeah.
5 in a row. Walking into Milwaukee. What are they going to do? Well, I think they're going to keep it close, so that's why I'm taking the Wizards. Why do you guys think that the Bucks
I mean, because the
are
line was
Russian?
odd. I was like, what's going on here? What do they know? I'm always like convinced they know something.
They know something.
Giannis is going for 50 tonight. That's what they know.
Well, there's no
Is he
Bradley
playing?
Beal. I highly... Yeah,
That's better for the Wizards, man.
they've been doing very
better.
well without him. Giannis got to be playing, I assume.
Yeah, I think
He sat out their last game on Sunday, so I assume he's playing. I assume Drew's playing as well, but who knows?
Oh yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
I mean, was it 5 in a row? Why?
That's 5
That's
in a row.
5 in a row.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
it was more.
They smoked the Bucks the last game.
Yeah,
so.
they did.
Revenge.
There you go.
Revenge.
All right. Well, again, playback watch party. I dropped the link in the stream team. It's in the description notes. We'll tweet it out too and share it with all of you if you want to come hang out with your boys at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. Let's get to tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Scrap that tweet of the night, JD. It's been mentioned so many times, so forget about it. It was the Robin Lopez one. He did
Fun
it.
tweet, man.
Scrap it.
JD's got to bring it up. You got to bring it up, JD. I'm going to get it out of the way and point out that Donovan Mitchell and Robin Lopez. This is Robin
Full
Lopez tweeting it. You never heard Robin Lopez talk in the third person before, have you? I'm going to get it out of the way and point out that Donovan Mitchell and Robin Lopez combined for 72 tonight. And then he wrote it out. Hashtag
Yeah.
historic game. I like that.
I like
Yeah,
that a
was that-
lot. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, poking fun at the old hashtag thing. Some still do. Anyway, cool.
I like the timing of that tweet.
Like right after the game.
10:21. The game ended probably not much before that. I mean, he didn't wait.
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
he was going CT. I think that was a CT.
Oh.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
Central Time, 9:21
Yeah,
Central Time.
anyway,
Yeah, he was celebrating with Donovan against in the locker room. Yeah.
that's kind of, it's old. It's old though. That type of tweet. It's been done.
What? What do you mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's having some fun with it. That's the whole
I
point.
know, but everybody's doing
Everybody's
it.
doing it, but
Bill
not the,
Wennington.
Not
Bill
the,
Wennington did it
yeah.
4 billion years ago,
Well, he
long
didn't-
time
he-
ago.
Yeah, you're right.
along with Michael. Anyways,
How do you feel about
Mm-hmm.
the guy holding up the sheet of paper with the point scored on it?
Good bit.
71. Yeah, I like it.
Long lasting.
I mean, it has to be 70 though, right?
yeah.
Over 70? Yeah, I agree.
You can't do 69, which Mitchell had for a while, by the way. Everybody was very excited about that. People were asking me would I have stopped if you were on 69 points just for the bit. Would you have
come
not
on.
shot again? What?
Nah, the broadcasters got in. I was watching Crunch Time on the app.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, everybody got in their nice jokes.
Yeah.
I heard Channing Frye get in a nice joke on.
course.
It was a great Crunch Time night. This is Crunch Time. You get to hear Jared Greenberg say that every 4 seconds. And 69, nice. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Why would you stop just to have it on the?
Yeah. It's a nice box score. You can literally hold up, instead of putting 69 on the sheet of paper, just put nice. That's a more memorable photo test. Yeah. So 70,
Would you stop?
70 on the piece of paper. Yeah.
70.
There's only been one ever 69-point game in NBA history.
Michael Jordan.
That's right.
Should have stopped.
Should have stopped.
Yeah. Everybody remembers.
It is true. The game was sort of still on the line, but no, I got 69 points. I've done my part. You take it over from here. Come on, Robin.
We've done a ton of corrections here. We do a lot of fact checking here on the show throughout
We're
this.
live, baby, not like those other podcasts that are afraid.
Are you live or
I wrong?
are you afraid? That's great. That's great.
What do you got to fact check me on? What did I say wrong?
No, this one's mine.
Check me, man. You think I'm afraid?
Check it, Tom.
I'll say stats wrong left and right. You think I give a shit?
I said that Luka Doncic scored 250 points in the course of 5 games. He scored 228.
We're so not afraid that we put it up afterward
we made
as a
short
separate
about
video.
it. Yeah. And it's doing great numbers.
Is it?
That'd be good enough.
Yeah, I heard it had 250,000 views.
Yeah.
228,000. JK. That one's on Elias. Elias botched that one.
Ooh, they're a bunch of Elias.
You think I went and added up how many points Luka Doncic has scored over 5 games? No way I did that, but I did read it.
It wasn't Elias, it was Ezekiel.
That's
a wrestling joke.
Probably a wrestling joke. Yeah, that's probably a wrestling joke.
I don't even think it makes sense anymore. But anyway,
He goes by Ezekiel now.
there was like it was like his basically his
Alter
twin
ego?
brother.
Okay, nice.
Jesus Christ. Hey, clip this. Let's make this a short.
Yeah, put it out
Right.
there.
What was the fact check?
Oh, was that what I was saying?
Yeah.
I am also in a liars. I said Terrence Ross. This is a deep cut. Anyways,
Yeah.
what's more interesting? Terrence Ross had a 50-point game back in his second season. I'm surprised by that it was that early in his
was it?
career. It's
Okay.
2014. I did say that his career high before that was higher than 29. He had only had 26
There you go.
before hitting a 50-point game. And he was the first player in NBA history to have a 50-point game while averaging under 10 points per game.
Tony Delp
That's
was
why it
averaging
was-
over 10 the year he did his.
Absolutely,
Yeah, he was.
Skeets.
He was.
So you don't fact check me on my
I'm
fact check.
checking your fact check.
This guy's fact checking a fact check.
I'm not afraid. That's why we do it live.
T. Ross went from 26,
Oh.
if I'm correct, to 51. And a guy averaging under 10 points per game. Anything is possible.
It's crazy. So in hindsight, then your Devin Vassell prediction it's almost not even that bold.
There's no. In Tommy hindsight, R.I.P. Tommy.
Oh man,
No.
this guy's on one.
Come
All right,
on.
we got.
Elias is a good one. But they lied. Elias. It works
They're
so.
all lying to us.
Yeah,
The sports
exactly.
bureau, man. Somebody screwed up in the sports bureau.
Bureaus are
So
always
we got
lying.
fired.
They're
Who's the
always-
director of the Elias Sports Bureau?
All right.
We also had a spelling mistake or a grammar mistake in there. Hate to cherry pick, but it was a mistake.
In our short.
Yeah.
Jesus, man, we really didn't care yesterday, did we? Holy crap. All right. Well,
We're not afraid.
definitely
I think you can see that.
we are not afraid, like the other podcasts, to make mistakes live. Thanks for joining us live. We really appreciate it. Hit that like button if you had a good time with us today. Make sure you subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. Make sure you share the show. Leave your boys a 5-star rating and review. 5-Star Friday returns this Friday on the Drop Podcast. So I assume you're accumulating the best 5-star reviews right now.
I took a look yesterday,
Yeah.
my little pre-review. They're looking good.
Oh, you already have enough?
There were some that I was like, ooh, this is funny. I should read this aloud. No. Save it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
Save-
first
well, you
round.
still have a couple days.
Still got a couple of
to
days.
maybe make the top 5-star Friday list there from TK. So that's on the Drop Podcast later this week. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, join us tonight. A little playback.
Playback. We'll be listening to classical music together on Playback.
And it's guess what? It's also live. We ain't afraid here on No Dunks. Watch party tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll tweet the link. We've shared it in the description, and come hang with us. You just got to sign up for a free account and then log in with whatever subscription service you have, and that's it. It is a lot of fun, man.
It is.
Yeah,
It's very cool.
We'll see you later tonight. Till then, Clipper Bro.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Playback, a lot of fun. Seamless. But the name. I never remember the name. When you just said it was Playback, it's like, oh yeah, that's what it's called. Johann Sebastian Playback. But I just can never remember it. What's up with that? What's up with that? Is that me? Is that the name? It's probably just me. Playback makes sense.
Yeah, it's
Sort of.
I mean, we got to just
You're
use
playing
it
it
more,
live.
and then it'll be very
it's just not,
memorable. I like
not
the
on the tip of
idea
our
though,
tongue. It's
like
not in the
our
lingo.
twist should be, our playback should be play Bach, where we play classical music while we watch
funny.
NBA games. That's our, like, our
little
road.
twist on it?
Yeah. You want to do that tonight? Who do you want to play tonight?
What do you mean? Oh, what's the classical? I thought we were just playing Bach.
It's Bach.
Strictly Bach.
All right, we got to start with Bach at the very least. Okay, we'll see you tonight. Embrace the day, people.